Dieu merci pour aujourd'hui. God bless Canada. Thank God again. Yasa se delficia delfes. Exero oti den cataravanis. So I'll just speak English. But thank God for English. Thank you for your interest. Efelisto yeton endia felansu. I do have a message that I feel is really important, and it's best that I speak it in English. I know it's going to come with a lot of judgment because it's a fair amount different from what you're used to hearing. But I pray that I can reach some minds that can understand that what I'm saying is a broad spectrum outside of myself. The things that it sounds like I'm accusing others of doing, I'm doing them too in a lot of times because I'm part of it, or trying to be. But ultimately, remember, this is not about you, and it's not about me. It's about an overall effect of behavior with time. Cause and effect is just part of the equilibrium. So we need to be able to acknowledge things that may be causing harm that are only happening because of our own doing. In acknowledging that it's our own doing, well, we can correct it. Eferisto politon theohia aftete stegme. I think I made it very clear that I value a woman's input. I have a lot of faith in the intuition of women. Men are not always wrong, and women are not always right. And the reason I know I'm going to catch a lot of shit for this is because it has to do with sex. First off, the most important thing for me to say about sex is, if you're not actually planning on having sex with that other individual, it doesn't really matter who they're having sex with. It does matter who they're having sex with if that person is being harmed or deceived in any way into the sexual act, because that causes scarring for that individual. And that you should care about. But if it's simply a preference that is peaceful, the great news is you don't have to do it. And you know what? Those people need to be okay with the fact that that's not for you. And there's really no need to stress about it. Largely, I feel like it's understood, but there does still seem to be a separation there, and it just doesn't have to be. Because nobody is forcing anything on you. If you are not okay with people being gay, you're allowed to be that way. But a lot of what that is just you know what's right for you. Okay, well, don't be gay. Okay? Other people that may be gay, that's what they feel is right for them. Well, nobody's being hurt. They can be gay. They don't want you to stop being straight. You don't want them to stop being gay. We just want people to be happy and okay with who they are. But another important point to make about this is there's a lot of choosing that goes on in this society. There is lots of humans that are just generally sexual, like dolphins. And they may lean towards one, but don't really care if both are there. And people have experiences because they're curious and decide that that's not for them. All kinds of things happen. Why wouldn't they? And why shouldn't people experiment and learn about it? And in that, I have something I need to say. I'm kind of building up to it because I don't want to say it. Sex is not the same to me as it is to most people. I have some perspectives that reference being a male in this hyper-sexed society. Please hold peace. Males are by design going to think sex, food. And women by design are going to think food, sex. We know this. That's not my discovery, but I need to lead up to some things. Thanks again for being open to listen to my perspectives on this topic. And I know that I've been through some significant internal processes to remain in a pure state of mind when it comes to my sexuality. But I also understand that I myself had to mentally put in the effort and rid my mind of dirty thoughts that were being put in my mind by screens and just society in general. Because, well, we know a lot of what's going on there. But a lot of males don't really understand. The more you allow it to be okay within your own mind, the greater the chances that you're going to be okay with performing the act on the outside of your mind. And it's really important that a lot of these harmful sexual perspectives are erased. Those people are allowed to feel that way too. In my opinion, they're lost because they're hurting people only, not in that anything else, except people are getting really hurt and misguided. And as males, it's harder to take control of that. And people that don't want to take control of that, they don't have to. They're alive. If what gets them off is sleeping with a bunch of different women, and that's their business. Peace. I know, I'm very different. I can love you even if you can't love me. I don't know if you can understand that. But even if you can't understand it, it doesn't change the fact that that's the way I am. You can't separate sex and art. You can't separate them. If you're an artist that's very sexual, great. Give her. It doesn't matter. It should be that way. If that's who you are, that's who you need to be. You're that way for a reason. But not all the artists are sexual. And they don't have to be. And another important point that I need to make, that I don't want to have to say, but it ties into how neutral I am in my mind during these discussions, It's only in understanding myself that I'm able to step outside myself and speak more broadly in an attempt to help us raise better humans than we have been. Am I allowed to do that? Am I allowed to try to do that? Fuck. I see a lot of stuff online about almost like a fuck relationships kind of attitude. And you shouldn't be afraid to be alone. But you shouldn't be afraid to enjoy the love of another. And it goes back to this like need to choose. We need people committed to each other for long periods of time so other people can see that it's possible. And we need people getting together and growing apart and going on and being strong so other people know that that's possible. So you have to keep in your mind that whatever it is that's happening right now with you, it doesn't matter if it's not the same as what's happening with somebody else. You're not them. I understand that I'm reaching out to a lot of female artists. I'm honest, and these are the women that I was listening to over the years that have helped me with their music. I understand that I promote a lot of the same artists, but a lot of that is like, I'm very widespread in what I do, so I don't need a lot of different artists in a particular language. More like I need ones that I really like, that I can listen to a lot and learn more from. Because if I constantly change the song, I'm never learning it. I need to listen to the same songs a lot. So, like with Mandarin, I have 6 artists that I listen to mostly, but I've listened to lots more. And I don't want to say names because I don't want to include people or leave anybody out because that's not the point of this discussion. But I know it seems like I'm posting for a lot of the same people because I am, because I do listen to these people this often and they're helping me learn language. Some of these women have significant others and I understand that I'm giving a lot of love their way. But something to understand is these women are singing really great lyrics. Their voices are beautiful and I know it. That's it. And I have full understanding that the brothers that are with those women wouldn't be with those women if they weren't really solid dudes. And I love those dudes for loving those women. Because those men are loving those women are making better art and helping the rest of us be more peaceful. If any of the artists have problems with me advertising for them, I would like to know. Because I'm not trying to hurt anybody. And if you don't want to be on my news feed in my role of what I'm doing, it doesn't mean I won't listen to you. Because I still like what I like, and you're allowed to not want to be on my page. These artists, they have millions of fans, literally. A lot of those fans are probably making music or dancing in some way, especially with the kind of music they're making. They can't be expected to like everybody's music, and they can't be expected to like everybody's art. It doesn't matter. You need to let these people be people. But I love you and I made this. Well, I don't like it. What am I supposed to say to the person? I'd be honored if you like my music, but I don't have anybody here saying anything to me about it. I don't have, people talk to me about my language skills and some stuff that I have going on. But generally, it seems like my music has been perceived locally as, wow, he did all that by himself? That's impressive. All right, change the channel. Nobody wants to listen to it. But it wasn't about them listening to it. It was about saying thank you to these artists. It was about saying thank you to these artists. Thanks again to the brothers for loving the women. Thanks again for the women strong enough to stand alone. And thank you all for being open-minded enough to make it this far into my discussion. What I nieman. Pax omnibus. Gradius Deo.